Hello, everybody. So, welcome back. And I was really thinking about the Pink Floyd song, where he says, "Hello, my son, welcome to the machine." This song is very powerful and it's reality. So it isn't just a lyric, it is a warning to us because that is what we're in. We are in a machine, and the machine is spinning faster than ever. The astrology is confirming this. The wheels of fate are turning, and everything seems to be tightening. The system is closing in on us. So the agendas that we're seeing unfold, they have been in the works for extremely long times. This is biblical, but for so long. And the people in the places of power, they do have all the time, the money, and the control, and they're accelerating. And it is also our spirit that's doing the accelerating. And so the astrology, the biggest machine wheel clock of them all, is always behind everything. You don't ever get to rest with astrology because each new transit brings new energies, and that is what keeps this machine on its toes. This is the big wheel in the sky that is always turning. And so the pressure we're feeling now is because we're in between those pivotal 2,500-year cycles. So the old Kali Yuga cycle, the age of Pisces, Jesus was the fish that represented the age of Pisces. And now we're moving into the age of Aquarius. And this is going to be a whole new experience for us as collective souls. And now we're being urged to break free. Right now in sidereal, there is Jupiter influence. So we have this strong urge to break free. We do not want to be suffering anymore. We do not want to be playing the old games of the old paradigm of working jobs that no one wants to be doing for bills that are ever increasing. We don't want to be doing that anymore. I don't think anybody wants to be working a job making someone else's dreams or money of their businesses happen when we want to be doing what our heart wants to be doing. We want to be following our bliss and our desires and not being stressed out with paying for ever increasing bills. So I'm sure you're feeling that. I sure am. I've been just wanting to expose and expose and expose the darkness so that we can clear this collective shadow once and for all. I know deep down your soul knows we're not meant for surveillance. We're not meant for slavery, and we are meant for sovereignty. And being having the choice to do what we want when we want to do it, we shouldn't have to beg for what we want, our desires, our God-given birthright, divine birthright is to have the abundance of healthy, nurturing food where we live a long time because the food's not poisoned and we are in the paradise, the Garden of Eden. So, this does go back to the Bible. The Bible calls it the end times. And Revelation warns of the beast system where you cannot buy or sell any goods without the mark of the beast. So if you look around, that system is here and it is getting more and more locked down. And so, with AI, Palantir, and the surveillance states happening in all other countries, and Trump is signing, they're trying to pass the digital CBDC currency right now while we're all distracted by the Jeffrey Epstein cover up. So, it's all here. And the most dangerous deception of all is the spiritual one. And that is really, religion, where religion is steering you away from the ultimate truth. They put enough truth in all the religions so that you want to go in them. You wouldn't go towards something that doesn't have enough truth. And that is how they always pull the wool over our eyes is they give you half truths or more truths than lies, but mixed in with the lies. And so they manipulate and edit and change all the religions. The religions become dogma, and it makes you look outside of yourself instead of inward. But the ultimate truth is that you are the divine spark of the creator. And so you have the God code within you. And that is what they fear the most, the controllers, the people who have the dark agendas for humanity. They want to lie and manipulate and invert the truth so that they can keep you from remembering who you are and profiting off of your demise. That's the horrible truth of what is going on. They want to profit off of your suffering. And that's what they do. Anytime you think of who you're paying out there and why you're working so many hours to pay to live on this earth, when we no other beings have to pay to live on this earth. But when you really think back of who and question who are you paying? Who are you paying to live on this earth? And that all the companies are owned by bigger companies who are owned by a few people at the top. So you're really only paying everything you do, your money ends up going to the people at the top. So you're paying a certain group of people who have made up the games here. They have made up all the rules here, and you have to pay them to play the game. So it is it's a pay to play game here when the divine blueprint is not that. We should not have to be paying anyone to experience life. And so, Yeshua, who was the ascended master that they renamed Jesus, and I still don't know to this day really why they call him Jesus versus his real name. I think that is because they did the whitewashing of Jesus, but Jesus is and was a Semite, dark-skinned. He spoke Aramaic. And so the Semites are the people who speak the language. There was three languages, and so one of those is Aramaic. And so Jesus was black. And so um, they change that. They invert everything and they change things in our history to fit a certain narrative they want us to believe. And so, Jesus never said, worship me or you must believe in me to have salvation. That is a manipulation and twisting of his words. But he says and teaches that the kingdom of heaven is within you and that you can do everything that he can do, if not uh, greater things. So he was a light worker, just like you and me. He was an awakened soul who could see through the deception, the lies, and he didn't sit right in his spirit of why the money changers, the worshipers of Baal, all of the false religions were so inverted. They were so wrong, just completely wrong, killing other beings and making sacrifices and drinking blood and making usury, putting interest on lending money, all of these things. He had righteous anger and did not want to stand for that. And so Jesus came to show us that we have the power. He came to show us that power within us, not to take it away. And so we are here to reclaim this power now. And you know, every system that we have been taught to trust, government, money, time, the calendars, your education, every institution, pretty much every single system out there is corrupted and inverted. It is a false version of the real version. And so there really is no government. The what we think we have, a democracy and a government, is not at all what is there. And the people are starting to realize this, which is very exciting. The truth is there is no legitimate government. There is just a group of people who are running the show. The same group of people are running all of the countries. They all are putting their people in places of power and twisting everything to make their will. happen, not the will of God. So that is the inversion. That is the Antichrist. And these are really just private corporations pretending to be nations. The private banking families are, they basically run the global charade for profit and power. That's all they're doing. And the it's such a simple thing, but it's very hard to do is once you see this, once you know it to be true, once you really grasp what is going on behind the scenes, just like in The Wizard of Oz, pulling back the curtain and revealing the all-powerful Oz is just a little man pulling levers. That is exactly what is happening on the world stage. The New World Order is just a bunch of people who are coming together and centralizing their power and asserting it onto all of us. So once we see it, you can opt out, and that is the most beautiful part of it. You can say no, you can choose a different path, and that's the real game because we came here to remember our sovereignty, our freedom to stand in that. We want to choose freedom, love, and truth and build the new earth. Like the Bible was saying, we are supposed to be the stewards of the earth here, not the destroyers of the earth. Our society destroys the earth the way it is right now. That is not the divine blueprint. We are to be the stewards of the earth, the way showers to show and remember the old ways of how to live in balance within the divine blueprint of nature and harmony with all life, all all beings on this in this realm. So, we're not victims. We're not here to obey. That is absolutely certain. But we are the creators. And so we are divine light beings here to anchor heaven on earth. And the great news is we are doing this and we are collectively choosing those higher timelines. The path is hard when you're going through the awakening and realizing how much suffering and how much manipulation and how many lies and truly atrocious things are happening out there in the worldly plane or the earthly plane. It is sickening. It is heart-wrenching. It makes you angry. But it does inform you. You are looking at the shadow, the collective shadow that needs to be seen. And that is what allows you to have take your power back of choice. And then you have now the higher option of choosing the timeline you want to be on, the higher timeline, the path of harmony with nature and truth and soul family, where we come together in community, which we're all lacking. We all want to sing and be in community and make food together and enjoy life, not be continuing to be separate and in our own little houses designed to feed the grid of the beast system. So that is what we're here to do. And this is the test. It is a game. The game is leveling up right now. It's getting harder. So I am giving you so much props and encouragement. You guys are all doing great. Thank you for being here with me today, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.